DwightConquergood and performance ethnography. DwightConquergood was born in Thunder Bay, Ontario in 1949. At a very young age, however, his family decided to move to a farm in Indiana. Conquergood began his academic career at the University of Indiana, receiving his bachelor's degree from there in 1972. He then went to the University of Utah in order to complete his master's degree, graduating from there in 1974. Finally, Conquergood completed his college career at Northwestern University, where he received his Ph.D. Throughout his academic life, Conquergood sought to focus on those in marginalized society, those who have been disenfranchised and lived on the fringes of society. Conquergood most notably worked with the Hmong refugees of Thailand and the Latin Kings of Chicago. He used their performative aspects in order to study and attempt to understand their ways of life. Some of Conquergood's most well-known works include I Am a Shaman, a Hmong life story, The Heart Broken in Half, Life in Big Red, and Lethal Theater, Performance, Punishment, and the Death Penalty. We will talk more in depth about a few of these later. But first, in order to understand Conquergood's role with performance ethnography, we must know what exactly ethnography is. In truth, there is no set definition, as the term applies to various constructs. To start with, the term ethnography originated in the 19th century with Western anthropology. Today, ethnography and ethnographers can be defined in their search to collect data in natural settings, instead of in a controlled setting like in a lab. Conquergood studied cultures through performance ethnography. As his former student David Donker pointed out, Conquergood believed that one must not make the, quote, silly distinction between writing and living, end quote. It is the performance that defines human interaction and becomes the mode by which we can know, experience, and intervene in the world. Conquergood worked closely with those in marginalized society to help in whatever way he could. Conquergood coined the term co-performative witness to illustrate what this means. In short, both the ethnographer and the human subjects are important. As described by Surini Madison in her article Co-Performative Witnessing, Conquergood described it as becoming, quote, radically engaged and committed body to body in the field, end quote. In other words, one would need to become a part of the performance to truly understand the culture they are attempting to study. Working so closely with those who are vastly different than oneself can lead to some trouble. In order to help those who may falter, Conquergood mapped out what he called the 4 ethical pitfalls. This is a guide that Conquergood created in order to help future performance ethnographers stay as unbiased and true to their research as they could. First, Conquergood has the ripoff. This describes a ethnographer who is the plunderer who approaches and appropriates culture without a sense of care. Next is the infatuated enthusiast, who assumes a facile identification with those they are studying. Third is the cop-out, or those who do not actively engage within the culture they are studying, but still cast judgments upon them without fully understanding their culture. Last, there's the exhibitionist. These people often tend to romanticize the culture they are studying, and in doing so, they further widen the separation between themselves and the others. Conquergood believed fully in completely immersing himself in the culture he was researching. For example, when he was working on Life in Big Red, a study wherein he researched the life of refugees and poverty-stricken families and individuals living in a certain apartment complex, Conquergood did not merely observe from afar in some comfy hotel. Rather, he lived in the apartment complex. He helped his neighbors with sweeping and dealt with some issues that they had to deal with, such as the lack of running water for an extended period of time. He also integrated the views that outside people had on these disenfranchised within his work. In one trip to the store, for example, he overheard two cashiers discussing the neighborhood problem, describing these refugees as trash. In Conquer Good's film, Heartbroken in Half, Conquer Good sought to illustrate the life world of children who are and were members of the gang, the Latin Kings. Conquer Good worked with them to attempt to find ways to dissuade others from falling into those same pitfalls, and donated a lot of time and money to projects designed to help those who are and were in need. Conquer Good passed away in 2004, but not without leaving behind an academic legacy few would hope to mirror. His worth in both the academic field and within so many communities truly should not be forgotten, and hopefully future performance ethnographers will take his work and his advice to heart as their own research continues.